Da 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 da. Hello sunshine, and welcome back to another video. Today's video has got some tidying up kind of motivation, a little bit of cleaning, and then I got a wild hair up my butt to do a little switcheroo. So y'all stay tuned to see Justin and I redo the living room again, and I really love how it turned out, and I hope you guys like it too. But we're just gonna get started here in the kitchen, and I'm gonna try to figure out what to talk about because I still can't use music. So there's that. How are you guys doing? And I'm so sorry I didn't get a video out Friday. I've been having a lot of phone storage issues, and it's just been really crazy here. My oldest son actually turned 14 on Sunday, so I was getting mentally prepared for that, and you know, getting the party stuff ready. We had just a little cookout with my parents and sister and her son, and my brother came over, and my husband grilled burgers and cheddar filled bratwurst as some carrot cake made by my sister, which smelled delicious. But fun fact, I'm allergic to cinnamon or whatever, and I think I've told you guys that, but my sister is allergic to some different things. Well, she's like, I'm not sure if the carrot cake has cinnamon in it, so I'm just gonna leave it outside, which is fine because it was an outside party. But anyway, I was like, that's great, that's fine. And she took a few bites of it, and she was like, oh my goodness, because her face started itching and her eyes were burning. Y'all, she's allergic to clove, and she found out carrot cake has clove in it. So in her effort to protect me, she endangered herself. It was so sad. But anyway, I had actually just stopped recording right before I went to open this cabinet right here, and when I did, whoever put the glasses up before me failed at Jenga, because one of the cow mugs that I love so much bounced out, and that thing is indestructible because it bounced like a basketball across the kitchen floor. But on its journey down, it hit a regular glass, and that thing hit the counter, bounced onto the floor, and exploded in my face. And my son jumped up in slow-mo and was like, no, as he ran away from the table, and Justin came running in the kitchen because I screamed, and he scooped me up in his arms, my knight in shining armor. It was so chivalrous, and he cleaned up the whole mess. Like, he's just too good to me. He really does love me all. Something that my son and I were discussing while I was sweeping here in the living room, he's lately become really obsessed with like end times and end times events, and he has, like, he's obsessed. I don't know what's going on, but I am helping him. I'm going through Revelation with him and trying to help him understand it as much as I understand it. So today we were discussing the angels blowing the trumpets during the tribulation, like when they blow the first trumpet and the third of the grass burns up, third of the trees burn up, and all that. Well, he wanted to know if the people on earth could actually hear the trumpets being blown, or if that was just like symbolic, like only the heavenlies can hear the trumpets. And then he's like, well, what does a biblical trumpet sound like? And so I was thinking, well, I know back in Bible times they used something called a shofar or shofar, and it's a horn, and they would blow it any time they wanted the people to gather around. And maybe that's the kind of trumpet they blew when they were marching around the walls of Jericho when it came tumbling down. Anyway, I don't know. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to YouTube and I'm going to look up what the shofar sounds like. So I did that. And he heard it for 5 seconds. His eyes bugged out of his head, and he said, Mom, turn that off. That is creepy. So I turned it off. And a little bit later I came in, and he had gone back to listening to it. But it's such a blessing to see your child, like, really want to know more about the things in the Bible and to walk closer with God than what they are. And it doesn't mean our life is perfect, because we had the sweetest little Bible study outside. I'll insert a picture here because it just melts my heart that my husband took a candid photo. What was I saying? Oh, we had a sweet little Bible study, and then that night, I swear it must have been a spiritual attack, because the whole family got in a big old huge fight and everything. I just felt like a failure as a mother, as a Christian, and I was like, I'm not good enough to raise these kids, and I just felt so defeated. And I went outside by myself and I prayed. I was like, God, I cannot do this on my own. please help me with the situation. And within like 45 seconds, my husband came outside. He was very level-headed. We sat down, we talked with each of the boys individually, and then we ended it with a prayer together. So if you need encouragement as a mother that you think you're failing and you're not doing your best, I promise you're doing your best, and God's a big boy. He can handle all these problems. He already knows what's going to happen before it does. So just go to him for guidance, and I promise you he will provide it. So anyway, like I said, I got a wild hair up my butt to rearrange, and instead of me deciding where to put everything, I was like, hey honey, if you could rearrange the living room any way you'd like, how would you do it? And he told me, and I was like, well, let's do that. So I got it cleaned up a bit in here, and then he came in here and just moved the couches around because they're super heavy and it puts my back out when I move them. And I was really excited to see that there was not a ton of junk behind these couches, because if you've been here a while, you know behind the couches gets, good grief, the population of junk that accumulates is unfathomable. Like, that's a weird word, unfathomable. Unfathomable. It's cool to look at, hard to say. Anyway, it's crazy how much stuff gets behind those couches. I found a fish stick. I mean, that's disgusting. Anyway, so he wants to put the couches up against the window and put the TV on the wall that the big couch was just on. And I said, well, I would really like to mount the TV on the wall. So we did that. And then he showed me the markings of where the TV was going to hang. And he's like, I promise this is where it's going to be. And then it ended up being like a good 5 inches higher than what he said it was going to be. And I just have to laugh because it doesn't matter what we do. The measurements are always off, but we make it work because we don't want to go back and fix it. That's just how it is over here. If you are new here, hello and welcome. I'm so glad you've found my little channel here on the internet. My name is Jessie, and this is my husband Justin. We have 3 boys together. They're 13, 11, and 8. And over here on my channel, I like to share biblical homemaking. I like to offer inspiration and encouragement in every video. I want you to leave here feeling better than before you came. I know what it's like to be depressed and sickly, stuck at home, and I just want to offer you encouragement that you're not alone if you ever feel isolated. But I'm so glad you're here, and let me know if you have any prayer requests. And all my friends, you know, leave me any prayer requests that you have so I can pray for you. But I wasn't sure how this was going to turn out with the rug, but I think it turned out okay. And I also wasn't sure if I'd like the couches being on the windows, but it feels a lot more open in here than it did before, which is really strange. But what do you guys think so far? Also, if your kids are out of school for the summer, let me know how that's going. It's been pretty rough over here because I decided to drastically reduce screen time, and that was working out pretty well for the first 4 days. And then day 5, I got a migraine and all rules went out the window because I was like, y'all do whatever you want, just leave me alone. It was so bad. And so now I'm gonna have to try to start it again. But hopefully, as you're watching this video, we've started our Monday routine again. My son has a doctor's appointment today, actually, so he won't be at home. It'll be easy to stay off of the video games, not being at home. But definitely, y'all pray for us because I don't want them to be addicted to the screens, but I also don't want to deprive them of getting to do fun things like that. So I'm trying really hard. The doctor said they recommend they don't get more than 2 hours of screen time per day. But the games that they've made now makes it near impossible to like finish a level or a match or whatever in that time because you're playing with other people. And I miss the days of like Sega Genesis where you just put a cartridge in the machine and you turn it on and you play. Like I had Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic and Tails, Frogger, Vector Man, Paperboy. There was even a Sesame Street game that my family and I loved, even though I was probably 10 years old, and it was a game about learning how to count. But the main character was Grover in a restaurant, and you just went through the restaurant and you got the order that the people put in, like 4 oranges, and you put them on a tray. It was a lot of fun. Anyway, my point is, I miss the simplistic video games. I hope I said that right. Y'all, I'm so tired. I'm actually in the hot bath recording this voiceover right now because I'm exhausted. And my bones hurt, and the hot water relaxes me. Anyway, did you have video games growing up as a kid? And if you did, what did you have? and if you have any suggestions for screen time sanity. I did get a new game that I will share in my next video that the kids play. That's not a video game. It's a little thing you play at the kitchen table or wherever you are. That's really a lot of fun, and it's helping to reinforce some things they've learned in school. So that's pretty awesome. But yeah, let me know if you've got any non-screen time kind of games. Our neighbors have a trampoline, so the boys go jump over there sometimes. They love going out and tossing the football around. They like to play in the rope swing, and like when Rip goes outside to run around, they play with him out in the yard. But other than that, they just say, I'm bored all the time now. And if you're new, you probably don't know, we're a neurodivergent household. All of my kids have like ADHD, ODD, ADD, things like that. So they really do get super bored, even if they're having fun. Like, they don't have a really big attention span. So it's hard for me to find things for them to do to keep them happy and also maintain my sanity. And if you don't have to deal with that in parenthood, then I probably sound like a crazy person and like a lazy mother, but I promise I really do try my best with these kids. They're my sweet boys, but it's really hard. Like, I couldn't do it without Jesus, that's for sure. But we are expanding our toolbox of how to deal with things and big feelings and big emotions, and it's just a learning. It's a learning curve. That's it. But here, Justin was trying to mount the TV. And he was having a little bit of trouble because it's an old mount and it's spray painted. We didn't paint it to match the walls. That's just where he had it laid and was spray painting in the garage, and it got some residual paint all over it. But Justin actually bought that VCR at a thrift store for $5, and the lady didn't know if it worked. She goes, I tell you what, if you get it home and it doesn't work, you can bring it back. I'll give you your money back. So we brought it home, and we were so excited to find out that it works perfectly. There's nothing wrong with it. So we were able to watch some home movies. I got to see when Justin and his family went to the beach when he was probably 8 years old. And my youngest son never got to meet Justin's mom. She sadly passed away before he was born, so he got to see her and hear what she sounded like for the first time ever. So I thought that was really precious. And then we watched my first birthday video, which, gosh, it's so funny to look back on times like that. But anyway, I'm getting sentimental. We're gonna get this TV moved over there and mount it up on the wall. And luckily, this boy coming in here is the teenager. He's the one that turned 14 on Sunday to help his daddy hang it because my arms are too weak to do it. And anyway, Hunter's really strong, and he can hold that TV up to help his daddy hang it up because nobody else can. So I thank the Lord for huge children. At the doctor, they said he was probably going to be 6'3". He's 5'9" right now at 14, which is way taller than I ever thought a child of mine would be. But here we are, and he is going back to play his video game. Surprise, surprise. I hope you guys are enjoying this video. I know the voiceover is kind of all over the place, but I never really know what to talk about, but y'all seem to enjoy when it really doesn't make much sense. This is just the things that are popping in my head. But here, one of the screws actually went missing, so he had to come over and help me find it, and he saw that he left it in the original piece the whole time, so I wasn't a dingbat. I really didn't lose it. But anyway, now this is our burn pile in the backyard, and he's been wanting to clear it out for a while, and we're going to move it because it's such an eyesore in the backyard. Like, as soon as you open the back door, it's the first thing you see is two big old trash barrels for burning the trash, and it's just not pretty. So he's getting his stump grinder out, and he told me it would take about an hour to grind this stump down. Y'all, it took an hour and a half. I sped this up times 20 in CapCut, the editing software that I use to speed things up, and then found out later it took that long because it wasn't just one stump. He ended up having to do 4. But how cool is this? It just grinds that little stump down to nothing. It makes me think of a cartoon I used to watch with I think it was chipmunks that what did they do? They went to a tree cutting facility where they grind the the whole trees down into things, and one of them ground the whole tree down to a toothpick, and he got a little wood shaving stuck on his forehead, and the other one was singing, "There was a little girl who had a little curl right in the middle of her forehead." And this just made me think of that, and it cracked me up. I think it's the most random stuff. Anyway, this man absolutely loves stump grinding. It is his passion, so I'm really excited for him to get into that, and just, I love seeing him in his element, and I'm just so proud of all the hard work that he's doing. And that's his dad there. I'm not sure what he was doing. He probably shouldn't have been down there, but you can't tell adults what to do. Anyway, it's just really neat to see the process of this, because you'd think stump grinding, they could just, you know, chop it down more and then just one fell swoop get rid of it. But it takes some time, but it's really neat to watch it. Anyway, this is boring. I'm sorry. This is just, I really wanted to share this because I thought it was really neat. But y'all let me know how you're doing. How's your summer going? Do you have any YouTube channels that you're enjoying that you want to share for me to go check out? I love watching videos where like people talk like this and they just share their daily life, like the vlogs and stuff like that. I know those are like the hardest YouTube channels to grow, so I would love to go show my support to any of those that need some love. And to all my other YouTube creators, I just want you to know that I appreciate your support, and I am watching your videos. Sometimes it's on my TV, so I can't comment, but I definitely watch them, and I just love them. You bring so much joy to my life, and I don't feel so alone. But anyway, yeah, I feel like I'm running out of things to talk about. Oh, I watched a movie this morning that I haven't seen in a long time, and it was really good. So who here is old enough to remember the movie Independence Day, the one with Will Smith and I can't remember, Vivica Fox? That is such a good movie. I was watching it in the living room, and the two littles came in, and they're like, "This looks scary." And then they sat and watched it with me. So yeah, not too scary, I would imagine. They really enjoyed it. But it's a really good movie. If you haven't watched it in a while, it's nice to be able to watch stuff that doesn't really have an agenda to it, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, go check Independence Day out. But I just want to thank y'all for being here and for watching my videos, even though it's kind of nonsense. I appreciate your support, and I really do look forward to talking with y'all in the comments. Sometimes it takes me a while to get back to them, especially now with it being summer and the kids are home, because I want to actually reply to you and not just leave a heart or like your comment. I like to think out my responses and be heartfelt, and my mental energy just ebbs and flows, and when it hits, and I respond to everything, and I can do my emails and all that, and other days I can't do squat. But anyway, that's gonna wrap up this video. Look at my handsome man and how proud he is of his stump grinding job. But I'll see you in the next one, y'all. Be grateful, be grace, and God bless.